Hello and welcome to the Open Book channel. I'm Oleander, your designated open book, and today I'd like to take a little detour from all the AI talk to discuss reposting culture, how I think it should improve and can very easily with a little awareness and effort on our part. I've been on the internet, well, not quite as long as most of my fellow millennials. Born late in the generational grouping, I was also a bit behind the curve of when I got my first computer and what access I had to the World Wide Web. I spent a lot of time playing AOL games on the home screen than actually surfing, going on other websites. I didn't get to experience Tumblr in its prime, though I'm sure many would argue it's still alive and well and probably even better today than it ever was before. My point being, there have always been sites whose content consists a majority of reposting, sharing, and adding on to other people's posts. But that isn't considered stealing. Largely, Tumblr forum reposts include all the OP's interactions for credit, and that's the point of opposition I have to reposting culture nowadays. The waters get a bit murkier when it comes to adopting memes, where although the very original poster is rarely known, the images are continuously altered and reshaped. It would be nice to know the OP, but I personally consider memes to be transformative, as they use the meme format to convey a new joke or idea. So it's not blatant theft of intellectual property. Intent also comes into memes to some extent. Their usage is generally accepted for their purpose. In cases where an image is used for a meme without express permission or by the user themselves, that tends to be a subversive act to comment upon it. So although it's technically a case-by-case basis with memes, I don't consider them part of this discussion. What I really want to talk about today are accounts that repost original content that isn't theirs outright. Maybe it's just my side of the internet, but it feels like there's been an uptick in this occurring of late. In the past, when I'd run across instances of this, I'd usually find credit for the original creator squirreled away somewhere at the bottom of the post or tagged after the fact in a separate part in the comments. Not anymore. Nobody is crediting anybody, and it feels like that's become the unacceptable norm. It makes me sad to see accounts that give such high praise and post an artist's work, but don't actually mention or tag them for anyone running across it that actually wants to find them a means to interact. That is always a very obvious example of the hollow intent to profit off the hard work of someone else, to decree everyone should see this, but then provide no means to actually see it. I did a video a while back about a much sneakier version of this type of posting, with various travel brands posting articles about a singular comic artist's work, where they did credit them, but provided so much of their content that it basically became its own gallery and took any interested reader's attention economy entirely for themselves. The overall practice reeks of ill intent to me, but the kicker was what kind of accounts were doing it. Relationship comics had nothing to do with travel blogging, it was just a means of funneling engagement to their website, and I think it's important to differentiate here that I don't have a problem with host or gallery accounts that do their due diligence and keep acceptable limits. If an account is dedicated to sharing content of a particular genre and cultivating an audience, that's fine so long as they credit the artists they showcase. The key is that that is a mutually beneficial relationship. The repost account gets engagement, the artist gets awareness, the followers get introduced to content they enjoy. Win-win-win. The line of what's acceptable here becomes a little muddy again with fan-made accounts, impersonating their favorite creator. Sometimes they're harmless and do nothing but share inside jokes, post updates the rest of the fanbase would want to know, and boost the original posts of their particular obsession. So long as they're not directly competing with the original content creator, that's totally fine. The bad version of this particular fan practice would be clip accounts that rush to post clips of streamers before they can themselves, effectively stealing their potential audience, and of course, those who make fake merch. I thought the extreme of this, in impersonating a creator outright, didn't need to be said as being actually unacceptable, but apparently it does. In a lot of instances I'm coming across now are accounts posting content not just with the implication that it is their own because no reference is given, but saying that it is their own by proxy of reposting verbatim, in which the original content creator said, "I made blank." This one in particular made me mad because I saw the theft account's post online first. And I liked it because I thought it was a well-painted jar of pickles, and it shows a skill of the medium. I got to the comments though, and I found the OP there telling them to take it down. So I went to their profile, and sure enough, not only had they stolen their artwork in the repost, they couldn't have even been bothered to say anything different about it. They just used their caption too. There was no fake support like how some of these accounts usually function, in excitedly posting praise but just so happening to forget to tag the OP. Nope, they just straight up copied and pasted. I don't usually get involved with this sort of thing, but the theft was so blatant that I decided to help the original creator in flagging the stolen content to be taken down, and the worst part was that there wasn't an easy way to do that. For all the other reasons on Threads and Instagram and probably Facebook, it's as easy as clicking on the reporting type, but for intellectual theft, they take you to a screen with a number you have to copy. It then says to copy the code below before continuing with your report because it helps them, find the content. The fact that it says continue with my reporting, to my understanding, means it hasn't actually been filed in any capacity yet. If you hit the button below, it then redirects you to another part of the website which gives general information on copyright and trademark, in case you didn't already know. Then at the bottom of that page are hyperlinks to direct you further to another page for whether you're reporting an impersonation account, underage child, hate account, or hacked account. And although they provided clear enough instructions to copy and paste and be redirected, I gotta point out, why does the process for intellectual theft require so many more involved steps in navigating than to just hit false information reporting, which is immediate? I mean, the answer is obvious. We all know how Meta really feels about proper use and crediting creators, but they're not being very subtle about how much less they want to do about some types of harmful content. I am starting to wonder whether accounts are just feeling emboldened by AI slop accounts. Like, that the going understanding on the internet now is that unless otherwise stated, the post is assumed to be the poster's, or it's AI, in which case copyright doesn't exist, so they don't have to disclose otherwise. Or is this a byproduct of the growing entitlement online to content that Gen AI production has fostered? Because repost accounts are getting so lazy. And it honestly doesn't make sense to me because, like I mentioned before, all it takes for curated content accounts to be mutually beneficial is a tag or a couple words of proper acknowledgement. It's not that hard. I don't see the appeal of the risk of getting one's account flagged for intellectual theft by reposting so lazily. Whatever false acclaim they garner by misleading people doesn't amount to anything if and when they get bans. And the point I'm getting to here is that it is within our power as followers to make that risk a reality by reporting content we see that is undoubtedly stolen or reposted without mention of the original creator. There really is just no excuse for such a thing. If the negatives do end up outweighing the benefits, that will, hopefully, eventually, deter such behavior. Because that's why these accounts exist in the first place. They want something quick and easy and to garner praise. If there's obstacles and they have to keep starting over from getting banned, if they're held accountable, it won't seem so appealing or fun. I'm optimistically banking on this happening to AI content creators who don't disclose their use of Gen AI too, that when people find out and don't want to engage with them anymore, they stop trying to get away with it. If there was more willingness to be transparent and not hold all the acclaim themselves, these accounts wouldn't face problems. It's not a witch hunt, it's just requesting accountability. And that is within each of our individuals' power to uphold. Always credit content, report unfair use, and support the real creators you love. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.